Not since 1969
It's one small step for man.
has the world been this excited about the moon.
2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff.
Wow! Oh my goodness! It's not just what you see and you hear as the rocket lifts off. You can actually feel the force of it through your body.
Going to the moon!
I know talking to young people all the time out here at the station, they always view Apollo as something that was really long ago, right? They can't quite put their finger on it. They feel it's like a movie almost.
A crew of 3 Americans and 1 Canadian launched on April the 1st from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The NASA-led Artemis II mission is on day 6 of a 10-day mission to fly by the moon.
This is a magnificent accomplishment to be up here, to see the moon, to see the Earth, and to know that we are between those 2 celestial bodies, and you can see it when you look out the window.
Already, they've sent back some breathtaking images of Earth, the first taken since the Apollo 17 mission of 1972. One appeared the wrong way up, to how we understand a map of the globe.
The reason it's upside down is because as the Orion spacecraft is moving through space, it's actually rotating. So as the module rotates, the astronauts inside are also rotating. And so when they took their photo, they just happened to be looking at the Earth upside down in terms of how we typically view it.
Today, they made history, becoming the first to travel the farthest from the Earth, beating the record set by the Apollo 13 crew in 1970.
Today, for all humanity, you're pushing beyond that frontier. Integrity, over to you.
And we have confirmation of loss of signal of the Orion spacecraft as it flies behind the moon.
To do so, they travelled behind the moon for 40 minutes. Communications between Mission Control and their space capsule going dark.
Houston copies. We'll see you on the other side.
We are getting our first views from Orion after the loss of signal. Orion has come back around the other side of the moon.
Houston, we have you the same, and it is so great to hear from Earth again.
And that little crescent that you see is Earth, over 252,000 miles away.
Back on Earth, there was an Australian connection, the CSIRO helping track the spacecraft from NASA's Canberra Deep Space Communication Complex. It's part of a global network ensuring radio communications between the astronauts and Earth.
Our job was to make sure that once they came around the other side of the moon, we were able to re-establish the communications with them as soon as possible, which we successfully did. So we had a pretty big part to play. Our operators here in Australia and in Canberra are the ones currently operating the network, so including the antennas in Madrid and California.
It's a complex operation, and it hasn't been without its challenges, including a breakdown in the spacecraft toilet.
NASA astronaut Christina Cook is also working through troubleshooting steps.
So the Orion capsule is actually the first of a kind that has a toilet on board. The Apollo capsules did not have a toilet. So as I understand it, it was related to maybe the size of some of the plumbing, causing some elements to freeze.
This mission is part of a much longer game for NASA to dominate the space race. Its next step is to land humans on the moon and to set up a moon base. That's because there's a much bigger prize at stake in the long run: Mars.
So setting up a permanent presence on the moon is ultimately going to teach us how we can set up a permanent presence on places like Mars.
Australia's space agency is helping build a rover that will be sent to the moon later this decade.
So one of the things the rover will be doing is carrying a highly sensitive chemical instrument from NASA that's allowing us to look and study at lunar dust. And so understanding how lunar dust might get kicked up by a lander on the surface of the moon is really important.
Their mission isn't over until they splash down on Earth later this week. They hope their accomplishment will be surpassed by the next spacefarers.
We most importantly choose this moment to challenge this generation and
in the next to make sure this record is not long-lived.